evening, everyone. Good evening. Could we take our seats, please? Okay, we're just about ready to start. Motion to close executive.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, this meeting is being videotaped. Anyone not wishing to be seen on television may be excused. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin our presentation for the 2025 through 2026 Teacher of the Year Educational Services Professionals of the Year. Just have a little thing to say. The highlight of board meetings is when we take the time to showcase or honor our students and staff members. Tonight, we are celebrating teachers chosen at every school as the Teacher of the Year. As a former teacher in Washington Township, I am very happy that I have the opportunity to participate in this special evening. I have been looking at different quotes about teachers during the last few days. It's hard to choose just one, so I decided to choose two. Everyone who remembers his own education remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. The teacher is the heart of education, the education system. And also, your heart is slightly bigger than average, the average human heart, but that's because you are a teacher. We thank all of you for what you do for our students. Congratulations to all of our 2026 Teachers of the Year. Thank you. Dr. Hibbs has a few things to say.
This is definitely one of the favorite nights of the year. Let's look around and give everybody a good Township cheer. Super excited to be here to celebrate our Teachers of the Year and the Educational Service Professionals of the Year. We thank you so much for your service, for your dedication. Pat hit the nail right on the head. You make a difference each and every day, and you might not know it today, but at some point you will know from different kids that reach out to you and let you know that difference 10, 15 years in the past. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you. And without further ado, so the board is going to come and sit down right there, and then our first principal is Christina Cox from Grenlock, and she's going to celebrate Brooke. So.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to present this year's Preschool Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Brooke Barbara. Brooke has devoted the past 18 years to preschool education. She is now approaching her 5th year at Grenlock Terrace, where she has already left a meaningful impact. During her time at Grenlock, Brooke has embraced numerous leadership roles. She has generously mentored new teachers and welcomed practicum students and student teachers into her classroom. Brooke also serves on our school-based leadership team, where she brings both her voice and her heart to the table each month. Alongside her colleagues, she helps envision and create meaningful, inclusive opportunities for our students with disabilities, ensuring that every child feels seen, supported, and valued. Most recently, Brooke worked closely with our special education teachers and related service providers to align IEP goals with preschool objectives, strengthening the connection between planning and practice. Above all, Brooke leads with a servant's heart. Her commitment to our families extends far beyond the classroom walls. This December, when our district opened a preschool food pantry here at Grenlock, Brooke was there, quietly serving, supporting, and giving her time to ensure families had what they needed. She is an active member of our food pantry team, always stepping up wherever help is needed. Brooke doesn't seek recognition for these acts, it's just who she is. Beyond her leadership, Brooke's compassion for her students is truly unmatched. She is a fierce advocate for her students, and when they need a voice, she becomes it. When asked by her students, why did Mrs. Barbara win Teacher of the Year, they said, "I think she won a race to be Teacher of the Year." Because she is nice and gives us new toys. And maybe she gave someone a treat. Brooke reminds us that the most meaningful work happens when you show up every day, lead with your heart, and never lose sight of why you started. As her favorite artist put it, it was all a dream. But thanks to Brooke, our students wake up every day knowing their dreams matter. Congratulations, Brooke. Go get your apple.
This is for Mom. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You might want to have her hold it when you shake hands.
Okay.
I'll hold it for you. Next, I'd like to introduce the principal of Bells Elementary School, my friend and colleague, Dr. Sean Giverson.
I am humbled and honored to introduce Bell's Teacher of the Year, Miss Jennifer Natal. Jennifer is the true definition of an education leader, someone who doesn't just teach a curriculum, but teaches character. She doesn't simply deliver lessons, she inspires purpose. She doesn't just shape minds, she nurtures confidence, courage, curiosity, and compassion. In every sense of the word, Jennifer is a teacher who changes lives. If I'm ever having a difficult day, I know the best remedy is to step into Miss Natal's classroom. Recently, a colleague shared a popcorn lesson when observing. This is a type of lesson where you can just watch and be mesmerized by the lesson, because the lesson is a show where you feel like you are the participant. I feel that all of Miss Natal's lessons are popcorn lessons, where we are observing the greatness in the art of teaching. Her energy is contagious, an excitement that lifts your spirits, and a joy of learning that feels almost magical. Her classroom is not just a room. It's an oasis, a stage, and a launch pad for imagination where learning comes alive through singing, role-playing, storytelling, movement, and the occasional dance or jingle that helps students anchor what they are learning. Jennifer is an expert in her field who guides students of all backgrounds and abilities towards success with intention and heart. As an SGP teacher, her results speak volumes. She intentionally requests to teach special education students because she believes, deeply and passionately, that she can make the greatest impact. That belief is not just words, it is action, commitment, and extraordinary outcomes. Within her in-class resource room, students consistently demonstrate remarkable growth on state assessments, but more importantly, they grow in confidence, independence, and self-belief. Mrs. Chapman, her co-teacher of 13 years, had this to say: I'm a better teacher because of Jennifer. She brings an energy like no one I have ever worked with before and brings out the very best in each and every student. In room 2, her classroom becomes a family, grounded in one powerful word she lives by and instills in her students: believe. She truly believes every student can and will learn. Jennifer's commitment to her students extend beyond the school building. One shining example of this is how she invites her class to attend a basketball game that she coaches in support of breast cancer awareness. By involving her students in a cause greater than themselves, she modeled empathy, advocacy, and community engagement. In that moment, her students were not just learners, they were teammates in compassion, witnesses to leadership in action, and participants in service. What makes Jennifer truly exceptional is the way she balances excellence with warmth, rigor with joy, and structure with creativity. She holds high expectations while wrapping students in encouragement. She celebrates progress while pushing for growth. She challenges minds while nurturing hearts. Jennifer Natal is kind, Jennifer Natal is caring, Jennifer Natal is inspiring, and Jennifer Natal is a true definition of an educational leader. Tonight, we celebrate not just a teacher, but a force of positivity, a champion for children, and a reminder of why education matters. Please join me in congratulating our Teacher of the Year, Miss Jennifer Natal.
Jen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well said, Sean. You head over here to get pictures.
And next up, I have my friend and colleague from Birches Elementary, Miss Julie LaRubio.
Kelly. By the end, you might be a little tired of us. We have 2 tonight, which I'm super proud of. Just to preface, everything that is written here about our 2 colleagues was written by Mrs. Ryan and myself. We're certainly a team. Good evening, Dr. Hibbs, Mrs. Bloom, the Washington Township Board of Education, Mrs. Gerber, Mrs. Miller, Mr. Distilio, and the Washington Township community. It's with great pride and a fair amount of personal enthusiasm that we submit this commendation for Kelly Kropka, our district's Educational Support Professional of the Year. We came ready. It's quite simply, Mrs. Kropka is the best for kids. Oh, geez, I lost my place already. My goodness. Since joining Birches Elementary School in September 2012, Kelly has become the heartbeat of our school community, a professional who balances clinical expertise with a tireless, all-in spirit. She's also a wife to Mike and a mom to 2 college students, Grace and Joey. She clearly hasn't had a quiet moment at home or at work in 2 decades. Quite simply, Mrs. Kropka is the best. She has an innate ability to connect with students at their level, making them feel seen, safe, and understood. On a personal, professional level, she's truly my right-hand woman. We rely on her on a daily basis as our primary partner in communicating with students and parents who might need our support outside of the academic world. We meet every single day at 8:40 a.m. to debrief on situations and prepare for the day to best support our community. Whether she's helping a child navigate a difficult emotion or translating complex feelings into manageable steps, her insight is indispensable to our team. Her commitment to student success is further evidenced by her leadership. She delivers classroom lessons and leading individual and group counseling that build the social emotional foundation of our students' needs to thrive. serving as the coordinator for our 504 team and a long-term leader member of the INRS team. And she leads our No Place for Hate program and serving on crisis and MTSS committees. Kelly's influence extends far beyond the walls of Birch's. She's a dedicated mentor to the next generation of counselors, having supervised 6 master's degree level students from Rowan and Seton Hall universities. Her voice is also a vital asset to the district at large, having served on the DEAC committee for 8 years and currently contributing to the district counseling advisory committee. What truly sets Kelly apart is her willingness to show up for the community in every possible capacity. Whether she's volunteering at the annual Birch's Craft Fair, or quite literally embodying our school spirit as Benny the Bengal, she does so with a sense of humor and a heart for service. Kelly is a human sunshine. Can we guess who wrote that, everybody? I love it. In the hallways of Birch's, her warmth is felt by everyone she passes. She's a constant source of optimism and a light that students and staff alike gravitate toward when they need a lift or just a friend. Kelly Kropka represents the very best of Washington Township. She's a crisis responder, a systematic thinker, a mentor, and a champion for children. We are incredibly lucky to have her. Birch's Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Allison Berwick. It is a distinct honor to recognize Mrs. Allison Berwick for her selection as Teacher of the Year at Birch's Elementary School. Since joining Birch's family in 2014, Allison has proven to be an indispensable asset to our students, her colleagues, and the district. Allison is a daughter, a sister, a wife to Joe, a mom to Ben and Alex. Where are you, boys? I know. She graduated from Townsend University, duly certified in elementary and special ed, and Rowan with her master's in both reading education and school administration. Allison's journey at Birch's is a testament to her adaptability and commitment to student success. With a wisdom that seems beyond her years, Allison has made significant contributions across various grade levels and specialized roles. She joined Birch's as an in-class support teacher in 5th grade. She served with excellence in both 2nd and 5th grades. And presently, she transitioned to BSI reading teacher and subsequently to the role of interventionist. While the role of an interventionist can vary from district to district based on needs, Allison has defined the position at Birch's through her tireless work ethic. She's widely recognized as "I'll do whatever it takes" educator. From coaching fellow teachers, implementing creative scaffolds, or modeling behavior management, her focus remains singular: progress. With relentless positive spirit and a delightfully wicked sense of humor, Allison transforms the daily grind into something joyful. Despite being a leader in the Birch's community, Allison is incredibly modest. She's the first to laugh at herself or make light of her own parenting skills to put others at ease, never wanting to draw attention to herself. However, her leadership is impossible to overlook. She leads our NJSLAPD, working individually with every staff member to raise the bar for our entire school. And as a leader of our INRS team, she's a primary go-to for supporting our most vulnerable students. Allison pours her heart into the well-being of kids. She brings the same devotion to the hundreds of students at Birch's as she does to her own children. Her deep understanding of children was perfectly captured recently when a few months ago, Mrs. B identified one of our students, one of our more active students, we'll call him, who required physical movement before he could successfully engage in his lessons. To address this, she began incorporating intentional play sessions in the sensory room for him and several of his peers prior to their instructional time. This impact of this transition has been significant and is best expressed by the student himself, who today shared with me, "Mrs. B gets my wiggles out. We have a lot of fun before we learn." I said, "But what else does she teach you?" And he said, "Words, blends, vowels, and stuff." We offer our sincere gratitude to Mrs. Borowick for her years of dedicated service and congratulate her on this well-deserved honor. She truly embodies the spirit of Washington Township excellence.
I'd like to call up now Principal of Herfield Elementary School, Erica Hulk.
Shout out Gretchen. She never misses a beat. She's lightning on her feet. She keeps cruising and she can't stop, won't stop. Nobody? Moving. She's in our Herfield Educator of the Year era, and she is Stacy McCauley. As her principal and colleague, I am proud to stand beside her. There aren't enough hours in the day to list the countless ways Stacy enriches the Herfield community. In the classroom, she is creating jobs like shoe sheriff to create independence amongst her students. That's who ties the shoes. Instituting peer-to-peer check-ins to create student-centered assessments, flawlessly, and I say that truthfully, flawlessly implementing new curriculums, and running data-driven small groups to reach every learner. And the whole time just still also finding ways to make all of those things fun. All of the kids are always smiling in the classroom, and so is she. Outside of the classroom, she's leading our school-wide PBIS team, designing assemblies, initiating and leading collaboration with her team, showing up for her students' extracurricular activities, volunteering to help with every single school-related event, and raising two amazing boys who equally enrich our Herfield community. They're in the back there too. There they are, Christian and Johnny. Stacy is the definition of a highly effective, phenomenal teacher. She is positive, adaptive, collaborative, solution-oriented, student-centered, kind, empathetic, and she's a passionate leader in our building. I'd like to share a few quotes from the folks that know Stacy. So first from a parent, from Mrs. Rebstock. She does far more than teach the curriculum. She helps shape her students into curious, kind, and confident learners who love exploring beyond the walls of her classroom. From her co-teacher, Mrs. Ostapowicz. Perhaps what makes Stacy most deserving of this honor is the joy she brings to learning. Her classroom is a place of creativity, engagement, and positivity, where students are excited to participate and take risks. She has a remarkable gift for making lessons meaningful and fun, ensuring that every child feels capable and successful. And from two of her students, shout out to Nico. She is a nice teacher that is always happy. Also, shout out to Delaney. My favorite thing about Mrs. McCauley is she's really funny and she makes us laugh. She approaches every challenge with grace and enthusiasm. Her colleagues and parents alike describe her as the person you want leading a team, a dedicated, supportive, and truly impactful professional who gives 110% every single day. One nominator summed up our collective feelings perfectly. She truly represents the best of what teaching should be. Congratulations, Stacy. This honor is more than well deserved. Yes, yes. And now I'd like to introduce my friend and colleague, the cool, the amazing principal of TJ, Tricia Holmes.
Good evening. First, I'd like to congratulate all of those being recognized this evening for their hard work and dedication. I'm joined tonight by Kristen Bentley, Special Education Supervisor. At Thomas Jefferson, we are honored to celebrate someone who embodies excellence, compassion, hard work, and dedication. Our Teacher of the Year sees the potential in each child and in her colleagues and brings them to light. It is my absolute privilege and honor to award Ms. Kristen DiCasalanovo our Special Education Teacher of the Year. Kristen is joined tonight by her husband, Anthony, her adorable children, Lena and Anthony, and obviously her adoring family. She's also joined tonight by her co-teaching partner, Eric, who often refers to them as the Dream Team, well noted, and her friends, and of course, her TJ family. Kristen possesses a trait that cannot be taught in any university: positivity. Whenever I walk into Kristen's class, she's always smiling, and I can identify her laugh from down the hall. That smile is not just a facial expression. She uses it as a tool. It signals safety to a nervous child, partnership to a worried parent, and a partnership to a tired colleague. Her peers identified her as a model of inclusivity, patience, and positive energy. While her smile is gentle, her advocacy is fierce. Kristen is a champion for her students. In the world of special education, advocacy is everything. She sees her students not for what they can't do, but for what they can do. Her lessons are differentiated, and they're crafted to meet the learners exactly where they are. She celebrates milestones that other people might miss, and she ensures that every child in her care feels valued, seen, and capable. As one of her colleagues wrote in their nomination letter, Kristen goes above and beyond to make sure that each child, regardless of ability or need, feels joy and success in the classroom. However, one of the things that really sets Kristen apart is not just the amazing work she does for her students, but it's what she does for us as her colleagues. Kristen is a leader in and out of the classroom, but she leads with a rare and beautiful humility. She can be found collaborating with staff, mentoring new teachers, and offering support to anyone who looks overwhelmed. We thank you for that. She does this quietly. She doesn't help others to take credit for their success. She doesn't offer advice to hear herself speak. She doesn't mentor so that she can stand in the spotlight. She does it because she wants our school to be better. She wants what's best for our kids. She lifts up her colleagues without expecting applause. Her modesty is as impressive as her skill. She works hard in the background so that others can shine in the foreground. Sorry, it's been a hard day, and when you see all of these amazing people, it just gets to you what they give and what they do every day. Kristen, you change lives. You take the hardest days and you turn them into learning moments. You support your students with a loud cheer, and you support your colleagues with a quiet, steady hand. We thank you for your leadership, your advocacy, and for the joy that you bring every day. Please welcome and congratulate Ms. Kristen DiCasalanovo. Thank you, guys. And now it is my pleasure to introduce my mentor Yoda, Ms. Jenny Greer. Beth, you're here, you first.
Good evening. Jamie Morgan and I are thrilled to introduce you to Wedgwood's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Beth Johnson. As you can tell, she's rather shy. So, did you ever meet someone and you can't figure out why you know them? Like, you know you haven't met them before. So 2.5 years ago, I was transferred to Wedgwood, and I met Beth, and I couldn't figure out why I know her. I really was 100% sure we must have met before. I racked my brain, couldn't come up with it. I thought, all right, it'll come to me. You know, at some point it'll come to me. It came to me when I was observing her. And if you know, you'll know. I'm observing her, and there is this magic feeling in the air. She invited the kids along on an adventure. The kids moved to the appropriate spot. They knew the routine. They were excited, they were smiling, they were taking chances, making mistakes, making a mess. And as I'm sitting there, and I know I'm kind of old, but hopefully you'll recognize her, I looked down at her shoes expecting there to be lizards on them. The Magic School Bus had arrived at Wedgwood and Mrs. Frizzle had gotten off. I am not even exaggerating. Everything I'd seen in the little cute little videos I had, all the books that I had read to my class all those years, I was watching come alive in front of me. The students were so engaged, they couldn't take their eyes off of her. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. I was completely enthralled the entire 40 minutes I observed, and I'm sure she was counting down like, shouldn't you be leaving? But I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay. The children didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay. They did everything she asked, and when they made huge mistakes and looked at her, she gave them a heart, she gave them a smile and said, that's okay, we're learning, and kept on going. The enthusiasm to do every single thing she asked. There was no one going, I don't want to do this. They all just jumped to whatever she asked them to do. And her stellar instruction, covering student development, the curriculum, she knew what was appropriate with every activity she planned. It was so spot on that I started taking notes as if I was going to go back and to teach it. And I'm like, wait, I'm observing, I have to focus on this. It was absolutely amazing. And then when other people go in to see her, I always say the same thing. Did you just see Mrs. Frizzle? She was just teaching in there. It is absolutely something, it's a work of art. And I strongly encourage anybody who's having a bad day, stop in for 15 minutes because that's my safe spot. I stand in the doorway, I look in, and I feel better. She makes everyone feel better. And the school bus just doesn't include the children. It's her colleagues. You can find her leading her K team. Again, another quiet bunch. Everything we do, they're there. They show up. They're the first ones. She's one of the major leaders in our social media. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring that up or not. Social media team. If you've ever seen the TikTok videos, you have to wonder what's actually happening there. Because the excitement, everything they do, she just oozes this enthusiasm that gets everybody on board. If Beth says we're doing something, we're all doing it. We're all dressing a certain way. We all look like the 80s the other day, although most of them weren't alive during the 80s, but it's okay. But Beth manages to get everybody involved. She's the first one to volunteer for a PTO event. As soon as I see the Sign Up Genius, I click on it, and Beth's already on it. I just sent it out, and Beth is already on it, because it matters to her, that the children see her in every possible light. And she's here tonight with her family, which I met as they were carrying in all the numerous treasures Beth has found to bring into her classroom. So I'm sure they were voluntold to come in, but I met each one of them hanging something up, taking something apart, building something, because this is not just Beth's profession, it's her whole family's, because they're all supportive of her, and every crazy idea she gets, we all participate in. And it's something amazing to see that she can get anybody to do anything that she wants them to do, with kindness, with respect, and with love. So it is my honor to introduce Beth Johnson as Wedgwood's Teacher of the Year.
Congratulations.
Yep, you two swap. Next. I also have the wonderful opportunity of introducing the second educational service professional for Washington Township's elementary department, Stephanie Martucci. Stephanie is the dean at both Herfield and at Wedgwood, so Eric and I were thrilled when she was chosen and wanted to stand up here together to introduce you to her. It's hard to believe that a dean, somebody who does discipline, as the description, all day long, every day, well, it's not what she does. That's what people think a dean does. What she does is takes care of children every single day, all day long, no matter what their issue is. She handles bus issues, changes the child's direction for the day by sitting down with them and listening to them, making them feel valued and heard, whatever the concern was, no matter how small it may appear to us. They get an ear from Stephanie. She sits with them, mediates problems between two students, we all know at the elementary level, some things are just simple conflicts, but can blow up into something huge if it's not taken care of. Stephanie embodies restorative practice. She sits with them, works through their difficulties, changes their day. She has taken 2 children that have decided they were never going to be friends again, and now they're best friends, and you can't separate them no matter what, because she's proactive. She spends time with the staff at both of our schools. What are your issues? What are your concerns? And gets ahead of them before they become something that becomes disciplinary. And it's wonderful to see that children can change their day just by being heard and respected. And Stephanie does that. But she doesn't just do it for the students, she does it for us. She takes things off of our plates and says, let me handle that. I've spoken to them about that before. She's not one to say, nope, I've done with this twice, it's your turn. She's never giving up. She's never giving up on a student. When she was nominated, one of the most powerful sentences in her nomination was from a bus driver who said, Stephanie is there for the students and for us. From the bus driver to the principal and everyone in between, Stephanie spends time taking care of children, giving them that emotional release when they need it, letting them say what's on their mind without fear of repercussion, spending the time listening, valuing, and respecting, and turning a child's life around. We have seen bullying decreased. We have seen major discipline decreased because they're spending time with somebody like Stephanie. And the other 2 deans, I can say, are doing the same thing as Stephanie. We were just lucky enough to have her. And as a district, having a dean as a new position was an amazing position to be created, but we didn't know how it was going to go. Stephanie helped to define that role and took it from the idea that it was a disciplinary role into a proactive, take care of students, educate them on how to behave, how to control their emotions, and work through it. So we are thrilled to have Stephanie represent both of our schools. So congratulations, Stephanie Martucci, Educational Service Professional. Erica's next.
Congratulations.
So happy for you.
And while we're taking this parade that way, I'm proud to introduce the wonderful principal of Whitman, where's Julie Hopp? There she is.
Hello, everyone. Tonight, I'm joined by 2 of our supervisors, Mr. I was practicing. I was really practicing. Corigliano. Mr. C, this is what I call him, and Ms. Geringer. It's a privilege to stand here tonight to introduce an educator who doesn't just teach art. She uses it to build a more inclusive, confident, and vibrant world for our children. Please join me in honoring our Teacher of the Year from Whitman Elementary, Ms. Courtney Stumpf. Since 2017, Courtney has been the creative heartbeat of Whitman. To walk into her classroom is to enter a master class in engagement. You might find her creating handmade instructional videos so every student can learn at their own pace, or you might find the entire space transformed into a glow hallway where black lights and oil pastels turn a simple lesson into a sensory-rich adventure. But beyond the vibrant colors and the glow shows, Courtney's true gift is her ability to reach every single child. She provides a rare blend of tough love and deep empathy, ensuring that even our most reluctant learners find their voice. In her room, there are no non-artists, only students discovering their own unique possibilities. Courtney's impact extends beyond the 4 walls of the art room. As a grade level leader, she manages the complexities of our special area team with grace. She's a visionary for school culture, helping to build the behavior management system we use school-wide with all of our special area classes, ensuring that our youngest learners feel safe and supported. Her commitment to the school is evident, whether she is co-directing the drama club, whether she is coordinating the art show, spending part of her weekends cheering on students at their ball games or at their dance recitals, and of course, every school event, Courtney's there. Courtney consistently puts the school family first. An administrator recently described Ms. Stumpf as an artist of education. She sees the potential in every blank canvas and the spark in every child. She has made Whitman Elementary a brighter, more beautiful place through her unwavering dedication. It is with great pride that I introduce her tonight. Thank you for teaching our students not just how to create, but how to see the beauty in themselves. Wonderful place.
You're amazing. So well deserved. Thank you.
Wait. Oh, there's more? You get stuff.
Oh, I get stuff. Thank you.
It's my privilege to start off the middle schools. Miss Allison Agassi is the principal of Bunker Hill Elementary.
Yes, we have to. I just want to start off by saying, I have two people to introduce tonight, and I'm here with Joe Hoops, Supervisor of Special Education for Bunker Hill, and it's these people that make work at Bunker Hill the best place to be. We have fun every day, and for those that know me, I love public speaking, but it's great tonight because I'm with you guys, and they're my colleagues and my friends, and we just have fun every day despite how difficult our jobs can be, so you guys are great. So first, I get to start off by recognizing our Bunker Hills 2025-2006 Teacher of the Year, Miss Maria Mayo. Maria is a perfect representation of who Bulldogs are. She is proactive, inclusive, engaging, kind, an advocate, takes initiative, she's reflective, and most importantly, she's a little off her rocker. We all have to be. For 6 years, she's dedicated herself to the students of Bunker Hill. Starting out as in-class support, she had no idea what was in store for her. Mr. Hoops would like to take credit for her entire career. You were a teacher?
Middle school.
In middle school. Full? And Mr. Snyder and Maria's. I remember when Mr. DeStilio was sharing about Maria's transition from in-class support to her current role as lead teacher in our autism program, a task that requires an enormous amount of patience, understanding, love, and care. An idea that could be intimidating for any young teacher still trying to find their footing in their craft. However, Maria did more than rose to the occasion. She became an expert, an advocate, a mentor, and has grown our specialized program each year to better support our students and the overall culture of Bunker Hill. I'll be honest, when I first started, I might have been intimidated by Maria myself. She is fiercely protective of her staff and students in her classroom, and I would not have it any other way. In addition to her love for her own, she has been committed to all at Bunker Hill. She was the coach of our girls' basketball team, leader of the staff volleyball squad for our Pride Paul rally, and never hesitates when I volunteer her to be in one of my videos. And now that she is a mentor to our newest autism program teacher, her best friend, Shadow, and eerily her twin, the energy and excitement of the new ideas and inclusion is endless. As I always tell you, and I quote, "You girls keep me young." I am so proud of you, Maria, and I'm happy to recognize you as our Teacher of the Year. I also have the privilege of honoring the middle school level educational support staff of the year, Mrs. Jenny Kerfoot. Jenny has dedicated 20 years of service to our Washington Township public schools, 7 of those being a guidance counselor at Bunker Hill Middle School. She's also the lead cheerleading coach at the high school. Jenny is one of the most beloved people at Bunker Hill. She's another person who's a prime example of what it means to be a Bulldog. She was the first to make me feel welcomed at Bunker Hill and showed me the ropes. I'm happy that every day I get to work beside Mrs. Kerfoot, supporting our students through conflict, anxiety, stress, serious life events, and small life events, and her care and concern never falters. Unless you work directly in our main office, some might not realize the direct extension our guidance counselors are from administration. Her students rely upon her ability to provide a safe space, but also work through whatever comes their way, knowing she will support them to be their best. The hardest students are the ones she loves the most. That speaks volumes to her character and the size of her heart. She cares deeply, she goes above and beyond to assure her students find that win.
She leads our Bulldog Ambassadors that promote our school culture, complete peer lessons, and support new students. She makes herself available whenever a need arises. She does testing, social skill groups, career fairs, new story, student orientation, student of the month, and dare I say, puzzles. She is a superwoman, and my job would be impossible without her. I'm so proud to recognize my colleague and friend, Jenny Kerfoot.
Thank you, Joe.
Congrats, well deserved.
And it's my privilege to introduce the principal of Chestnut Ridge Middle School, Mrs. Teresa Pachowski.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to all of our honorees this evening. I'm also honored to be standing here with Mrs. Elisa Palazzi, our ELA supervisor. This year's recipient has been a quiet but constant champion for hundreds of students each year, therefore thousands of students in her career, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to meeting every learner where they are and ensuring they are set up for success both academically and emotionally. Please join me in welcoming the Chestnut Ridge Middle School Razorback Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Heather Hallex. Mrs. Hallex, we are so proud to celebrate with you tonight. The nominations submitted by your colleagues and our community paint a vivid picture of the impact you've had every day. I'd like to share just a few excerpts with everyone. One parent shared that all three of her children were lucky enough to have you in your class, noting that Mrs. Hallex exceeds and excels at keeping students engaged on task and making learning genuinely fun. They emphasize that your effort and dedication did not go unnoticed. Our colleagues refer to Mrs. Hallex as a master craftsman at her trade. According to the nomination letters we received, and I quote, Mrs. Hallex is known for her ability to balance the academic and emotional needs of her students, providing them with confidence and self-respect. Mrs. Hallex builds meaningful relationships that start on day one with our nervous sixth graders as they enter Chestnut Ridge, ensuring that they know she is always there to help, offering empathy and kindness. She is tireless in reinforcing basic reading and writing skills, setting her students up for academic success for years to come. But perhaps the most profound testimonials come from the students themselves. One student noted in his nomination letter that when she sees someone who is sad, she immediately steps in to help. Another student shared, Mrs. Hallex is very kind and respectful to all of us. She has always helped me when I needed it. To this day, I still go back and visit her to see how she is doing. Mrs. Hallex has most recently dedicated her expertise to supporting our most vulnerable learners. One staff member wrote in her letter of recommendation that they often hear, as teachers in the hallway, students saying, "Can I go work with Mrs. Hallex?" And I note that this is during their lunch period because Mrs. Hallex strategically has a period dedicated during students' lunch periods to help others. So students are willingly going to Mrs. Hallex classrooms during lunch for extra help and support. She has created a safe, welcoming space for all students, meeting them exactly where they are and helping them reach their fullest potential. Mrs. Hallex is an unsung hero and champion for all our students, consistently providing the needed resources, encouragement, and most importantly, celebrating their successes. Mrs. Hallex, thank you. Thank you for your passion, your dedication, and your unwavering belief in every student who walks through the doors of Chestnut Ridge Middle School. You truly embody the spirit of excellence in education. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me once more in congratulating our 25-26 Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Heather Hallex. And it is my honor to introduce Val Barry Kwiatkowski, the principal of Chestnut Ridge Middle School. I'm sorry, the principal of Orchard Valley Middle School.
I got confused there for a minute. Good evening and congratulations to all of the honorees this evening. It is with immense Panther pride that I announce the Teacher of the Year for Orchard Valley to a truly exceptional educator, Miss Janine Navarra. I told them they had to outdo everybody, they got it. In the world of special education, the job description is rarely just to teach. It is to advocate, to comfort, to adapt, and to inspire. Ms. Navarra embodies this every single day. We, her colleagues, know her as the person who always goes above and beyond. She is the first to step up when a challenge arises and the last to leave until she knows her students are set up for success. However, the true measure of a teacher isn't necessarily what the staff thinks. It's what the students have to say. And I got the opportunity to hear from her students who have made their feelings very clear. They describe her as nice and recognize that she is a genuine hard worker. One student described her superpower perfectly by saying she is great, and when everyone needs help, she is able to help everyone. She creates a safe harbor for them, with one student stating, she helps us cool down if we're mad or sad. And because she understands that sometimes the way to a student's heart and focus is a little extra kindness, she's also celebrated for the fact, and I quote, she lets us have snacks after lunch. For her patience, her unwavering willingness to help, and the incredible bond she shares with her students, please join me in congratulating Orchard Valley's Teacher of the Year, Ms. Janine Navarra. I told you, I was short and sweet. It is now my pleasure to introduce the one and only Herr Anderson from WTHS.
We're celebrating. Good evening, Township, and welcome to a very special evening as we recognize some professionals who have had a profound impact on the lives of many in our community. As Executive Principal at WTHS, it is my distinct pleasure to acknowledge and celebrate two very special Teachers of the Year and an esteemed Education Professional of the Year. I am joined by Mr. John Savarese, High School Executive Assistant Principal, Mr. Jeff Snyder, Supervisor of Social Studies and Business Education, and Ms. Elisa Palazzi, Supervisor of English. Before I begin, I would also like to give a quick shout out to Whitman Elementary and to the Teacher of the Year, Ms. Stumpf, because you are awesome and you brighten that school every day. I would like to begin our presentation tonight with celebrating our first Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Alexandria Ackley. There's a lot of your face out there. Mrs. Ackley is a teacher of business education, and she wears many hats at Washington Township High School, and for that, we're very grateful. Mrs. Ackley earned her bachelor's in media and communications from Ursinus, and then her master's in educational leadership from Wilmington. Mrs. Ackley is joined by her husband, Justin, her 2 children, Reagan and Ellie, as well as her mom, Patty McBride, who herself is a former Camden County Teacher of the Year. It must run in the family with the McBrides here, as well as her stepdad, Skip. Mrs. Ackley is currently in her 13th year at WTHS and is actually a graduate of this great institution as well. She has achieved a lot during her tenure at WTHS as a 12-year DECA advisor, 10 years as a lacrosse coach. She is currently in her 4th year coaching girls flag football and has previously served, actually I skipped something, she is in her 2nd year as our honors coordinator, and she has previously served in the roles of FBLA and NHS advisor. What more could we ask of such a hardworking and dedicated person like Mrs. Ackley? Mrs. Ackley is a frequent presenter of staff professional development anytime that opportunities arise for PD for our teachers. And we served actually together at the New Jersey Department of Education's Teacher Leadership Coalition that took place prior to the coronavirus. Mrs. Ackley is also a contributing editor to 5 textbooks and serves as a consultant for the National DECA curriculum. Supervisor Jeff Snyder shared that Mrs. Ackley is so passionate about her discipline that she wants to teach as many business courses as she can, and she does so with great skill and precision. From the words of those who nominated Mrs. Ackley is supportive and pushes us to do our best, whether it's preparing us for DECA competitions or working on class projects. She has made a huge impact on me. Ackley never fails to be the most supportive and caring teacher I've ever had my whole time in school. She has a listening ear when I feel often unheard. She cheers us on and pushes us to do our very best. As a coach, a teacher, and advisor, please join me in congratulating Mrs. Ackley, Teacher of the Year. Look at that beautiful plaque. All right. I would now like to congratulate and salute our other Teacher of the Year here at WTHS, Mr. Kevin Parker. Mr. Parker is a very skilled teacher of English, and he is in his 23rd year of teaching right here at WTHS. Mr. Parker is known for his Socratic seminars. And for those of you who don't know what a Socratic seminar is, it's an opportunity for students to come together at a table and discuss various topics in literature, and also be able to challenge one another and learn new things on the spot. And he facilitates those very beautifully. I've seen him do it. Mr. Parker is joined tonight by his wife, Ms. Donna Pangari, also a teacher here at WTHS, as well as his parents, Bill and Connie Parker. Mr. Parker earned his Master of Education and his MLA from the University of Pennsylvania with a thesis on Stoicism, Hamlet, and Fabio Montal. Mr. Parker was the WTHS debate team advisor from 2015 to 2020. Mr. Parker also shared with me that he was the winner of the 2023 Intellectual Freedom Award by the New Jersey Library Association in recognition of his commitment to demonstrating leadership and courage by resisting and opposing censorship and violations of intellectual freedom. Mr. Parker is fluent in Italian after having studied it for over 10 years, which is benissimo. But actually, his students tell me he is very well known for exclaiming "Forza!" Did I say it correctly? Forza in class, which is an encouragement in Italian for strength and courage, because he knows what it means to believe in someone's potential. From the point of view of those who nominated Mr. Parker does fun things in class while creating challenging lessons and classwork. At the same time, even while doing Friday food polls. I'd like to know more about that. I like talking about, as a foodie, I enjoy that as well. I improved so much as a writer and reader and scored well on the advanced placement exam because of Mr. Parker. Last week, we had a very special evening here at WTHS, and that was the induction of the National Honor Society. And at that event, 2 of his students, Maximo Moletta and Logan Cayley, they introduced Mr. Parker because he was the keynote speaker last week, and he did a very phenomenal job, by the way, in addressing a very large crowd of people. They mentioned how his reading aloud to the class is pure theater, as he orates and adds his own dramatic flair, along with British accents, individualized for each character in Great Expectations. He almost makes it feel like you are watching one of the scenes unfold in real life, moving us from page to stage. His handwritten commentary on every single assignment, although, and this is what they told me, I'm not saying this, although usually illegible, and we have to ask him for a translation, it causes students to want to be better and to improve. Maximo and Logan also summed up that Mr. Parker reminds us that great teaching isn't about covering material. It's not that at all. It's about sparking curiosity, building resilience, and helping students to become richer, more thoughtful individuals ready for whatever comes next. I couldn't have summed it up any better myself. So kudos to both Maximo and Logan for the wonderful words that they shared. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Kevin Parker, WTHS Teacher of the Year. I know you don't. My third and final one. It's a very big building. It is also my distinct pleasure to introduce you to School Counselor Extraordinaire, our 2025-2026 Education Professional of the Year, Mrs. Fran Mulvihill. Mrs. Mulvihill earned her BA at Glassboro State College before the big name change to Rowan, and taught kindergarten for 8 years in Mickleton, where she won Teacher of the Year in East Greenwich back in 1998. Mrs. Mulvihill earned her MA in Student Personnel Services at Rowan in 1995 and has been working as a school counselor here at WTHS since 2001. Mrs. Mulvihill is joined tonight by her husband Mike, her sons Michael and Eddie, her parents Rich and Fran Gigliotti, and her twin sister Dina Leonard, who herself is a former Counselor of the Year at Chestnut Ridge. Mrs. Mulvihill has had the pleasure of serving in the roles of sophomore class council advisor for 10 years, peer facilitators advisor for 4 years, freshman transition advisor for 2 years, and the honors coordinator for 1 year. Mrs. Mulvihill also supervised 5 interns in school counseling during her time at WTHS. From those who nominated Mrs. Mulvihill for this honor, Mrs. Mulvihill is an expert in her field who demonstrates a deep understanding of counseling practices and a strong commitment to professional growth. Mrs. Mulvihill cares about me as a student and always treats me with respect, even when my questions might not seem that significant in the grand scheme of things. She makes me feel that my questions are real and important and always helps me. Mrs. Mulvihill is always there when I need her, and I feel like I can go to her with anything. And what better words to hear as a counselor than someone who's willing and ready to come to you for everything. We do have a fun fact for you. Many fun facts tonight you've heard, I'm sure. Mrs. Mulvihill actually was a school counselor for 2 of our other Teachers of the Year here in WTHS. One of them standing right here, Mrs. Ackley, and the other being Bunker Hill, Ms. Maria Mayo. Mrs. Mulvihill enjoys an outstanding career here at WTHS, and despite all of her professional successes, she says her 2 greatest accomplishments are her children, Michael and Eddie. And I see Eddie right there. He's recording you, and Michael's there too. Smile, we see you. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Mulvihill as the WTHS Education Professional of the Year. You rock.
Congratulations.
All right, guys, we're going to go for a picture.
Yep, get your apples and go over. Yep.
That's an exciting crowd, yeah.
If I could have just one more round of applause for all of our Teachers of the Year and our educational support staff. If all of our representatives that were awarded tonight could stay and come to the front for a group photo, we would appreciate that. Thank you. Where do you want them, Eric? Here or over there? Or? Picture.
I think they usually do. I think they do it on the.
Because they used to do risers. I've had it so many different ways. Birch's is already getting into assembly. So if we could have all Teachers of the Year and all representatives tonight come over to the far right by Mr. Distilio for a group picture. Once again, all of those awarded tonight into the front for a group picture. We don't want to miss anyone. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin the regular session of our meeting. We thank you all for coming, and we congratulate all of the Teachers of the Year and support staff for the 2025-2026 school year. Thank you. Okay, on the agenda, we have discussion items. We have a homeschooling policy, which we're going to discuss at a later date because we don't have all of our board members here tonight. We have a cell phone ban in New Jersey that we wanted to have Dr. Hibbs give us a little bit of information on.
Okay. As many of you know, Governor Murphy, before he left office, he instituted and signed a phone-free school philosophy. This policy will become effective beginning in the 26-27 school year. The bill requires that the commissioner publish guidelines on restricting students' use of cell phones and other internet-enabled devices during regular hours, on the bus, and during school-sanctioned events. Boards will be required to adopt policies that align with the statewide K-12 guidelines. Now, the guidelines are supposed to be published within 60 days of him signing the bill. Our policies must, among other provisions, prohibit the non-academic use of personal internet-enabled devices on school grounds during the school day, with limited exceptions. So pursuant to the legislation, the DOE is reviewing its previously published guidance. They had already put forth additional guidance, and they will reuse that guidance and repurpose it for a roadmap to create safer, more focused learning environments. They're going to outline best practices, storage, staff training, equitable enforcement, and they'll allow us to operate and make decisions based upon that framework. We will have to make some choices. So we're going to wait for the guidelines and then begin discussions at the administrative and board level about how you want to implement. But we definitely have to have it implemented for 2026, 2027 start of. So it's mid-January. We're hopeful to have the guidelines by the end of January. We can start having policy discussions that flow through to the board and then have final calls well in time for summer to let parents and guardians know. Any questions?
I do. Yes. I'm just wondering, am I correct that our policy right now has a bell-to-bell restriction, for instance, at the high school? Is that correct?
In instructional spaces, phones are not being utilized, yes. So
Okay.
inside the instructional spaces, but they are still used in the hallways. So we'll have to wait for the guidance to say exactly what that guidance looks like to make calls. It very well could mean that no phones can get used at all during the school day, which we would then have to turn into a different practice. But right now, phones at the elementary are away and off. We dealt with an issue today that was just simple to deal with. At the middle school, they are often in lockers and or in book bags, and in the high school, they are not being utilized in classroom spaces. So we don't utilize lockers at the high school anymore, so kids have all their belongings on them, but it's not really coming up that they're an issue with them being used in the classroom inappropriately at all. We revised our code of conduct to put stronger parameters in place for the use of cell phones in inappropriate ways. So the reality is I think we're very close to not having an issue, and whatever the guidance suggests, we'll put that in place.
Yeah, I think you may have answered my question. So what you're saying at the high school in particular, that through the discipline policy, things are working very well, and kids are not pulling out their cell phones during class time.
Yeah, in all of our discussions, cell phones are not proposing an issue disrupting the learning environment in any form of a massive way at all at the high school, the middle school, or the elementary school.
I'm glad to hear that, because I wanted to ask you how successful we are. And I'm glad to hear you say that we're very successful here in Washington Township, that that's not happening at the high school. Thank you.
You're welcome. We did have to make some changes in the past. We had quite honestly, we had phones being taken out that were videoing fights, and we changed our code of conduct to put more strict measures in place. And I think that has made a difference across the board. In any rule that you have, you're going to have outliers where students sometimes make decisions that are not best, and we'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis, and in all ways trying to have a restorative practice with the child to understand that they need to be responsible for themselves. You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, our next topic under discussion was the board wanted to explore the use of strategic planning to plan out the years ahead. We have to decide if we want, how we want to do that, if we want to talk about tonight, if any of you have any ideas, how you want to form a committee. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to talk about with that tonight?
Pat, I have something.
Sure.
So I think for a strategic plan, we should form a separate committee that is focused on getting that off the ground, right? So I think it'll involve, writing up the plan and all the steps involved in finding support in writing the plan, whether that's the New Jersey School Board Association or whoever the committee wants to go forward with. So I think my desire for the conversation tonight was to talk through can we form an additional committee and the steps we need to make sure that we're moving forward and getting a formal strategic plan in place. Thank you.
Anybody else have thoughts on that? I mean, I think it's a good idea too, but we need some guidance as far as how we start that process. Anybody else?
I would think you need somebody to volunteer, people to volunteer for that committee.
Is there anybody who would be willing to volunteer for that committee?
I'd be happy to participate or chair that committee.
Okay, anybody else? I'll help you with that. Could we get at least a third person?
I could do it.
Thank you. Anyone else? You're welcome. We have room for one more.
Just as long as there's an alternate for me, just
Sure.
in case.
I'll be her alternate.
Okay, and if anybody else wants to do it, I'll step back and we'll have someone else do it. All right, then we'll talk about that and maybe give more information next week or the first meeting in February. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay, under School Community Relations, Director of Data Technology Registration, School Community Outreach. That's a big title, Mr. Testilio. Will you please update the Board of Education with anything happening?
Thank you, Ms. Blum. I appreciate that. I have quite a few announcements, a lot of kudos to people in our sphere of influence in Washington Township. First of all, hoagie sale, that is alive and well and in full effect right now. Obviously, it's going to be Sunday, February 8th, Super Bowl Sunday. It's our signature district fundraiser, and it's one of the best things we do as Washington Township. Every single entity gets involved in that, and we raise about $35,000 a year. Last year we raised that much, probably because the Eagles were in it, but we hope to match that this year. We have flyers outside and on Parent Square and in various social media outlets. You can buy individual hoagies for $10, which is an Italian hoagie, or you can buy a hoagie tray for $60, which includes, we're bringing back turkey hoagies as well. Parent Square, social media, talk about how to order. We're ordering either, you can place your order and then you can pay either by check made out to WTEF, or you can make a payment on Zeffy. And then when you pick it up, it's from 10 to 1 on Super Bowl Sunday. If you have need to contact anybody, you can contact Ms. Finn at hfinn@wtps.org or Ms. Sullivan at hsullivan@wtps.org. Preschool expansion, we just sent out a Parent Square tonight. The Washington Township preschool program has announced an upcoming expansion for the 2026-27 school year, pending the approval of the Preschool Education Aid, or PEA, from the New Jersey DOE. The district intends to provide a seal for all 3 and 4-year-old, or seat for all 3 and 4-year-old residents at one of its program locations. In order to get information, to provide families with more details, there is an information session on January 22nd, 6 p.m. at the Central Office Admin Building. The session's agenda is going to include frequently asked questions, program overview, and some discussion about eligibility requirements and things of that sort. Football was featured on CBS Philadelphia on January 13th, I believe. If you would like to see, it's about 3 minutes, but it's fantastic. Take a look. Be sure to look on YouTube or CBS Philly. You can search the keyword CBS Philly Washington Township Football, and you'll be able to see the segment, so if you didn't get a chance to. I have a very special announcement that I found out today about Mr. Steffen. On Saturday and Sunday, the WTHS Theater Department hosted the New Jersey State Thespian Festival at the high school. The festival provided over 1,700 students from New Jersey and Delaware the opportunity to celebrate theater, collaborate with peers, and grow as artists and leaders, all while proudly showcasing Washington Township High School as the place that values the arts and arts education. So several of our own students competed in various categories, won superior medals, recognizing their advanced skills in theater and the arts. Our WTHS troop as a whole received the Gold Honor Troop status for providing students with a large number of performance opportunities and advocacy events, as well as the New Jersey Harvest Excellence Award for their fundraising efforts. Additionally, our theater teacher, Mr. John Steffen, was the recipient of the New Jersey Thespian Outstanding Educator of the Year Award by the state organization. Congratulations to Mr. Steffen and members of our thespian troupe, number 8797 at Washington Township, on their accomplishments this weekend. We have a CPAG meeting coming up tomorrow. The Washington Township Special Education Parent Advisory Group, or CPAG, has released its 2026 schedule of meetings and community events. This is also on Parent Square, CPAG, and it's in the backpack as well. CPAG is a state-mandated district-level parent-driven group which primary mission is to provide input to the local school district and system-level challenges and collaborate to improve special education programs and services. The meeting will be held January 21st, 2026, with an information session called Learn the Brain Basics from 6:30 to 8 at the Washington Township Central Administration Building. And a couple more dates are coming. And on February 12th, there's a parent-only coffee chat. If you're interested in more details, you can reach out to WTPSCPAG@gmail.com. And a couple more announcements. Big Game Pregame. Washington Township Project Graduation has announced its Big Game Pregame fundraiser scheduled for Friday, February 6th. It's an adults' night out to be held at the Forum on the Black Horse Pike in Blackwood from 6 to 10. This adult-only event will be a live DJ, a buffet dinner, fundraising activities including a basket raffle and a 50-50, opportunities to win designer bags. Attendees can choose between two ticket pricing options: the Touchdown, $55, which is entry to the event, and then the Big Game, which is $85, which includes a bracelet for drinks for the evening. For information, please reach out to WTHSPG@gmail.com. And finally, as you all are aware, we have the Sunday Fun Day events. Just so everybody knows, tonight, we still have time, actually it just ended, but tonight was support TJ at a Dine and Donate at Slice. I'm hoping some of the teachers went there after this. On Thursday, the 22nd, is a Dine and Donate at Texas Roadhouse for the choir, WTHS choir. And on that same night, there's an orchestra fundraiser at Raising Cane's, and OVMS has a PTO Dine and Donate on the 27th at Chipotle. Township Night on the Sixers is on the 27th, and Bunker Hill on the 28th has a Dine and Donate for their 6th grade at Chipotle as well. And at this time, that's my report, Ms. Blum. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Distilio. Also, our student board member will have a report for us next week. Dr. Hibb?
Just a real quick question. If you're volunteering, what's the first time you should be there in the morning for the Super Bowl Sunday hoagies sale?
Whenever you want to get there. 5:30?
Yeah, as soon as you can, we'll be there. Anytime you get there, somebody will be there before anybody. So it's usually 5:30, but usually we start preparing the hoagies roughly around 6:15.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
Pat,
you.
If you don't mind, I just wanted to say something about Thespian that Mr. DeCilio
Sure.
stole what I was going to say. It's all right. It's all right. It was a fantastic weekend. I wanted to thank Mr. Anderson for coming out and giving us a hand with our line for the food truck. It was very long, and we had to cut it, and he had, in his words, no problem saying no. And he did it so well. It's something that if you've never seen before, you have to come and see, although I don't know if you can, but it's something you have to truly see. We had over 1,800 kids in the high school, and you would never know it. There were no arguments, there were no fights. Everyone was so loving towards one another and so much acceptance, and there was all different types of people, all walks of life, all amazingly, ridiculously talented kids. If you think your child's talented, you walk around in a hallway and there's a child that will blow your mind how talented they were. And you get to, and as a parent of a drama student, you get to really see your child in their element. It was a great weekend. And our own Mr. Stefan, just, being as great as we all know he is. And that was really it. But it was a great long weekend. And all of our kids who won a Thesby Award have the opportunity to go to Indiana now and compete in what would be like the Super Bowl of thespians. So we have quite a number of students that are eligible to travel to Indiana for 6 days of drama fun.
Thank you.
Thank
When
you.
is the Indiana trip? Do you know?
I don't know when it is. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Doctor?
Just want to add two quick things to Mr. DeCilio's great report. We had the honor, a lot of the high school staff, Mr. Anderson, of being at the NHS induction. Mr. Parker did give an exceptional speech. It was a great night with hundreds of students being recognized. And if you've never seen our induction, it's really special because our seniors are paired with someone that has meant something to them. It's a lot of times a teacher that has meant something special to them, or it could also be someone else in life. So it's just an amazing event. If you've never seen it, I encourage you to do it next year. It's amazing. And then I also just want to draw attention to pre-K just for a quick sec. We are exploring a second building in Pittman. If that works out, which it really looks like it will, we will have opened 2 buildings in 2 years to really open up approximately 400 spots to Washington Township parents for free pre-K at 3 and 4, which not really anybody could say they've done that. We're still arguing respectfully over whether or not we reached our universe. Mrs. Gerber is very persuasive and is fighting very hard for us, but you really can't minimize that fact, and we should celebrate the incredible things that we have done and are doing, and that's one of them. Thank you, Mrs. Bloom.
I was able to attend the National Honor Society also with Mrs. Clancy and Mr. LaLiberty. It was fun to see. I hadn't been to one of them in several years, and it was also fun to see students that Mrs. Clancy and I both had get that award. And then last Friday, Mrs. Clancy and I went to Bunker Hill. And Mrs. Clancy, would you like to explain what we did at Bunker Hill?
At Bunker Hill, the staff, the students, with the help of maintenance and custodian, opened up a school store, which was a store for students to earn their tokens or Bulldog Bucks, where they could go with their Bulldog Bucks and purchase items in the store. It was just beautiful. It was amazing to see so many kids involved, and the name tags for all of the students who were people who run the store. I just wanted to shout out for that.
Thank you. Is there any old business from the board?
I have.
Mrs. Baker?
I have two things. First, at our meeting on December 16th, the board agreed on specific information that should be in the minutes of the August 2024 meeting. I had inquired to see what that looked like, what did the minutes end up looking like, and it's not ready. So my question is, when will it be ready?
The board will, is this on? The board will be reviewing that next week in executive.
Next week? Yep. Okay, thank you. The second old business that I want to bring up. I guess this revolves around the fact that when we had the pandemic, not only in Washington Township, but throughout the nation, even though our teachers and administration did a great job, students really suffered academically, and they were affected by it. Recently, I read an email from a former teacher and community member who was concerned about the lack of support for kids that are struggling. I know in this past budget season, several teachers came up and they spoke to the board about their concerns about things like BSI, are people that helped with kids, that helped with interventions. And it seemed that those people were sort of eliminated, and kids were going to then address their shortfall through programs with a computer. And I hope my fellow board members would agree with me that in asking the administration at some point within 4 or 6 weeks to give us some kind of an idea of how we're measuring the success of the change that we made. Is it working? How do we know it's working? What exactly is in place to ensure that when we took away some of these supports, that was a teacher, and then substituted it with programs the kids could do at a computer, and it may be very successful. I don't know. And I think at this point, because so many people have come forward with concerns about it, that if we have something in place that's going to measure this, that we can share with our staff and the community and the board, that would be great. And I know that something like this, an individual board member can't just ask for it. That's why I'm bringing it up now, to ask if my fellow board members agree that we should get some type of information on how this is going to be measured.
Could we work on that next month in February at the IA committee, put that on the agenda, and then come back with a report and see what else we need to do so that the full board can have the information about that topic? Because it is an important topic.
Okay.
Is that okay, Mrs. Gerber? We'll put that on for the IA in February. Mrs. Gerber, can we put on her concern, and then we'll come back and talk to the full board?
Yeah, I'm just looking for what's in place that's going to demonstrate the success of what we did. Thank you.
Any other comments?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, we're going to go on. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public? We need a motion.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion carried. I have a card here from Jackie Williams, if she would like to come up to the podium.
Hi, I'm Jackie Tiger Williams. I teach Fifth over at Herfield.
Mrs. Baker, I'm actually going to be speaking tonight about my concerns with cuts to basic skills. And I can speak a little bit from my experience with the kids who are, this thing seems so loud, having the intervention of computer time. One of the challenges I do face is, as a math teacher, is having that math intervention time. A lot of those struggling students are the same students who need extra help from me, or need extra time to finish a quiz or test, or to get a little extra repetition and practice. And I find it very difficult to also go, and I need additional time for you to work in a computer program, where then I feel like I'm going, am I just giving these kids extra homework on a computer? Like, is it that you're a struggling student, so the intervention is I'm giving you a lot more homework on a computer? Because when some of my non-struggling kids can be using that intervention time to work in those programs, but the struggling students might have to be with me or an interventionist or be finishing up a math test or quiz. How are they also supposed to be doing additional time on the computer at that time? So I'm always trying to balance, and my goal is that I'm not dumping extra homework on my kids that struggle in the spirit of intervention. And that is something that I think is really important that we have to consider when our intervention is a computer for the Tier 2. All right, but now what I actually came up to talk about. Tonight I am here to speak about cuts to our basic skills program at the elementary level, particularly math, as it's a subject I teach. I've heard the cuts explained in words like, the intervention model looks a little different this year, and that fails to honestly capture the changes that were made. In prior years, a math class that had students who qualified for basic skills math services included maybe 6 to 8 students who qualified for the support, and a basic skills math teacher that was there generally for the entire 60-minute math period, along with the general ed math teacher. More often than not, the basic skills math teacher served students in 2 separate math classes in my grade, 5th. This year, as a result of staffing cuts, that same teacher is with me only for the last 20 minutes of one class when she is not pulled for various meetings, which happens more frequently than is ideal. As a result of less basic skills staff to provide services, the district moved the goalpost, making it harder for students to qualify to receive those additional services, which we now call Tier 3 intervention. As a result of this shifting goalpost, I now have 1 student across my 2 math classes who qualifies for that Tier 3 intervention for the extra 20 minutes of daily help. To be clear, the kids who qualified for that basic skills help last year, they didn't move away or abruptly close all their math gaps. Those kids are still in my class, only now they're struggling more than ever. And parents are asking me why. But the answer is because the district made significant cuts to the program, which is resulting in significantly less help for our most struggling learners. So the expectation now is that I, the classroom teacher, do the things the basic skills teachers did for those students last year, in addition to all my other responsibilities. This means pulling the most struggling learners for small group daily, providing them additional organizers, visuals, supports for both school and home, providing additional scaffolding of tasks, providing additional focusing support, providing additional targeted questioning, and providing additional monitoring of classwork, just to name a few. Is anybody wondering what the rest of my students are doing while I'm doing all of those things? Well, they're either doing what they should be and interrupting me as needed, which is often, because they all deserve my help. And it's honestly not even fair to call that interrupting. Or sometimes they're struggling without me knowing. Or other times they're off task because they're kids. And yes, there is now a math intervention time at the end of my school day when I can and do pull kids for additional support. But it's also when I need to work with kids who missed academic time for things during the day, for elements, or for one of our music programs, when I need to work with kids who are absent, kids who are late to school or had to leave early the day before. It's also when I may have to deal with general kid stuff, like a kid who's sad or fought with a friend or is worried about something or had a discipline issue. Don't get me wrong, our basic skills math teachers were phenomenal. I'm lucky enough that one of the basic skills math teachers is still my interventionist that I get that 20 minutes with per day. But cutting their time in the classroom by 67%, as well as cutting the number of kids they serve, is having a significant negative impact. It shows in my kids' class quiz and test scores, and I am certain it is going to show in their state test scores later this year. I understand the district is in a giant financial crunch and that we fought to keep all we could, clubs, sports, elective courses, academies. But we must acknowledge that we as a district made massive cuts to the core academics of reading and math, and our students are paying a significant price for it every single day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. That's something we've discussed a little bit, and I'm sure we'll discuss that more with Mrs. Gerber at the committee meeting. But the insight of a teacher is always wonderful to have, so thank you for speaking.
Pat, may I respond very
Sure,
briefly?
sure.
Hi, Jackie. I'll respond to both. The cuts that we've had to make over the last few years have been nothing short of devastating. And we never would have chosen to cut interventionists had we not have been in that spot. So I am comfortable saying right now that I don't like losing interventionists. So part of what we are going to do through the budget process is to put forth a recommendation to the board on the restoring of a few positions that are absolutely needed for our district with the why behind. But interventionists / coaches, we need all throughout the district for a lot of reasons. So I can speak from my point of view as the educational leader, 100% needed, 100% wish that we didn't have to cut in that moment. So I know that we're going to run it through IA and then bring it back to the board, but I just wanted to validate your feelings. We're not happy with not having interventionists. We definitely want people in Tier 3 working with children and be able to coach teachers in Tier 1. So absolutely. Heard, and we'll be happy to run it through.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Hibbs. And I think a lot of us up here are feeling the same way that you're feeling about that. So thank you for letting us know that. Nicole Anudi?
I just want to say that was a perfect example of why you should all re-vote for 5 minutes. I commend you for not cutting her off. I think that was the respectful thing to do. If somebody has that much to say, especially an educator or a concerned parent or a resident, they deserve that time. Cutting somebody off at 3 minutes is more for the purpose of all of you to not have to sit here that long. If that many people have that much to say, every single one of you should give them the opportunity to say it. Good job.
Thank you, Mrs. Lanuti. Okay, can I have a motion to close to the public?
Motion.
Second? We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Now we're going to move on to our committee discussions. Under policy, Mrs. Clancy?
Thank you. All right, the policy committee met this month, and they discussed several items related to policy process, current policy updates, and upcoming revisions. First, we review the cumulative policy committee agenda, which is maintained as a working document and uploaded into board docs. This agenda will continue to be updated as policies are identified for discussion and review. We also discussed the process for bringing policies forward. Any policy, either an existing policy or a potential new policy, may be discussed by the committee. Board members may raise policy topics during a board meeting or by contacting the policy committee chair and the administration so the item can be added to a future agenda. Policies may also be added when they arise from board meeting discussions. The committee reviewed use of Strauss-Esme as a district's policy system. Strauss-Esme provides updates to policies and regulations based on changes to statute and administrative code. Policies are updated and approved by the Board of Education, while regulations are updated by the administration. The full policy manual is accessible through the district website. We also review the policy approval process. Policies are first discussed by the committee, then brought forward for a first read, followed by a second and final read before being made live. These readings may occur at consecutive meetings but are not required to do so. Policies marked with an M are mandated policies. The committee then discussed Policy Alert 236, which was recently issued. A summary of Alert 236 has been uploaded to board docs for reference. Policies related to charter schools are not applicable to our district, and several policies within this alert, specifically policies 2530, 2535, and 9130 have already been approved. For this agenda, 2 of the remaining policies from Alert 236 were placed forward for discussion. The sexual harassment policy was not discussed at this meeting, as it will appear on a future agenda. We are postponing policy about homeschooling and equivalent education since we are missing members, so we are tabling this until the next committee meeting. We also discussed policy 0142.1, nepotism, which is a mandated policy. This policy is being updated to reflect the readoption and reorganization of NJAC 6A23A62. These updates are procedural in nature and align the policy more closely with the administrative code. Lastly, we discussed policy 1220, employment of the chief school administrator, which is also a mandated policy. This policy has been revised to reflect updated legal citations and current requirements regarding the review and approval of the superintendent's employment contract by the executive county superintendent. The committee supports option 1 under this policy, as it allows the board to develop specific recruitment criteria at the time the position becomes available. The committee is seeking confirmation that the board is in agreement with this approach. Looking ahead, the committee noted that sexual harassment policies will be undergoing significant revision, including the creation of a new policy and the abolishment of existing policies. Because Policy Alert 236 was just received, the committee did not place this item on this month's agenda in order to allow time for appropriate review and analysis. This item will be brought forward at the next policy committee meeting. The committee also discussed cell phone policy revisions. As Dr. Hibbs mentioned, Governor Murphy has signed legislation related to student cell phone use, and the district is awaiting additional guidance and implementation details from the state. We anticipate receiving further information within the next 60 days, at which time the committee will review the requirements and bring forward any necessary policy updates for board consideration.
Thank you. For personnel, Mr. Serrano.
Thank you, Madam President. So we met on January 12th at 4:30 p.m., and the meeting lasted until 6 p.m. In attendance, the administrators were Dr. Hibbs and Mrs. Wechter. The board members in attendance were myself, Mrs. Schechter, I'm sorry, forgot your name for me, Mrs. Schechter, Mrs. Hartong, and Mrs. Baker couldn't make it, so President Blom filled in. So at the meeting, we discussed, we discussed the following topics: anticipated hires, negotiated contracts, and we received a grievance update. That's all I'm allowed to discuss at this time due to the nature of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Serrano. For IA and SAC, Mrs. Hartong.
We met on Tuesday, January 13th. It was myself, Mrs. Bloom, Mrs. Clancy, Dr. Hibbs, Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Gerber, Mr. Distilio. We discussed the high school schedule and scheduling process. We discussed the 8-period day schedule and early release for seniors. Early release is granted to qualifying students for a release after period 6. The schedule change will be a change for students and staff, and we discussed how our current schedule isn't allowing us adequate coverage or continuity in the classroom. We discussed the PEA update, providers, and pre-K for all. We are expanding to Walls, which we've already discussed, with 16 classrooms and adding more classrooms to some existing providers. If the grant is awarded, we will be at our full universe. The third discussion we had was about the science and technology education supervisor. We discussed the importance of maintaining this existing position, which will provide oversight for both the TV Production Academy and the Engineering Academy. A strong candidate is essential to effectively support our students, particularly as advancements in science, engineering, and technology education continue to represent key areas of growth in the market. The fourth discussion was the ESSA Entitlement Grant carryover. The is it ESSA or is it see that? ESEA audit is extensive, and multiple approvals will be required as we amend the grant to reflect carryover funds. Board members will see several agenda items related to Titles 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on upcoming agendas to reflect those revisions. Discussion 5 was the learning, oh my gosh, I'm like drooling, the learning about literacy, the NJ DOE requirement. The upcoming in-service will be used to meet this DOE requirement. And that's it for now.
Thank you, Mrs. Hartong. Tonight for business, Mrs. Schechter.
Thank you. The Business Committee met on January 13th. Dr. Hibbs, Ms. Wechter, Mr. Liberty, Ms. Kazempel, Mr. Ross, and myself were in attendance. We reviewed the energy savings plan update. We discussed the financing schedule, the beneficial drop in interest rates. We reviewed the timeline for upcoming summer projects, including the timing of solar. The committee requested that we review some of these facts with the engineer and bring them to a future meeting. We talked extensively about budget planning, including the meeting structure, appropriate updates to which we would bring to the full board. We reviewed executive sessions and the need for a budget retreat, which we are working to schedule in the upcoming weeks. The administration gave an update of where we are in the budget process, and we discussed what information would be helpful to the board and topics that we could spend time reviewing. We reviewed the budget calendar as it relates to some of the upcoming requirements and meetings and when things and information will be released. We also reviewed under financing the purchasing, that there's no major upcoming items. We reviewed the typical approval items that are approved monthly. We also reviewed the RFP schedule. We reviewed the policy and the importance of sticking to the policy and the 3-year timing. We discussed that the only RFP on schedule for this year was the insurance policy. We reviewed the upcoming schedule to the rental rates for use of district facilities. We reviewed monthly agenda items, including the financial reports, requests for taxes, account transfers, bills lists, state contracts, disposal of fixed assets. That was mostly onboarding for me, so thank you to all of those who helped me with that. We also discussed some other items as well. Mr. Liberty asked that we establish goals for our committee. So the goals that we discussed for the upcoming year for this committee was understanding financials, bills, reviewing the statements, understanding what all those statements and attachments mean, understanding the big purchases, exploring additional cost savings as well as revenue generation, and start reviewing budget options early and often. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Schechter. Motion and a second to approve the report of the superintendent, item 1.
So moved.
Discussion.
Second.
I just have one question. When it says mediation if requested, who would be the one doing the requesting? Because for me, if mediation is possible, it should be done.
Okay, I can't answer that question. Could you?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'd have to know specifically the one. Why don't we touch base afterwards, and I can figure out what specific one you're talking about and then give you a specific answer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mrs. Clancy?
Yes.
Mrs. Hartong?
Yes.
Ms. Kazempel? She's absent. Scott is absent. Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mrs. Schechter?
Yes.
Mr. Serrano?
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom?
Yes. Okay, the motion carried. Under instructional affairs, we have no items at this time. Policy, there's no items. Student activities and communications. I need a motion and a second to approve student activity communications, item 1.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion, so roll call, please.
Mrs. Clancy,
Yes.
Mrs. Hartung,
Yes.
Mr. Ross,
Yes.
Mrs. Schechter,
Yes.
Mr. Serrano,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes. Okay, the motion carried. For negotiations, there are no items at this time. For human resources, motion and a second to approve human resources items 1 through 19.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Mrs. Hartung,
Yes.
Mr. Ross,
Yes.
Mrs. Schechter,
Yes.
Mr. Serrano,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Clancy,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes. And under retirements, we have a Maria Mazuka. She's a Kindle head cook. She's been in the district for 13 years. I had the pleasure of teaching one of her sons, and I think that she's worked very hard at keeping our lunches at the building in Pittman, the school in Pittman, going smoothly, and we thank her for her service and wish her a wonderful retirement. Okay, under finances, there's no items at this time. Special education, no items. New business, do we have anything for new business from any of the board members? This is a quiet night, board members, very quiet. Okay, what we're going to do then is open to the public again. May I have a motion to open to the public? I don't believe we have any more cards.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no one's here to speak, so we'll move on.
Move
All
to
right.
close?
Yes, so now we're going to close to the public. I have a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, the meeting's adjourned. We don't have to go into executive again, I don't believe. So a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
That's the best meeting ever. It's awesome. Nick's our good luck charm.